He's struggling a little
Yeah,
bit.
don't judge me because it's a house shot. I suck with rhythm.
I didn't know what shot they put down because they're supposed to put down our shot so me and Sean can bowl on it to make sure it's holding up like we want to do.
He wouldn't be able to practice on it anyways because he's bowling tonight.
Yeah.
So
Let me go down and find the result.
there's no cheating.
That's why we're not going to bowl. We designed it so.
Right.
Well, y'all know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Why? I think it's because
I feel it.
I think you're doing this again instead of really just kind of come through. Yeah, but it's not horrible, honestly. How did it feel?
Huh?
The thing of it is, really the way you stay behind it is just making sure. You know, one thing I did notice, your shoulders aren't opening up as much this way. See? So right now they're opening up here, and they used to open up more like this.
That's probably why I was having trouble last night projecting it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Also, your range of motion is limited in comparison to what you normally are used to.
But altogether, it just looks like shit.
No, it never looks like shit. It just doesn't give you as much. Yeah. Like that. So, but if you look, the range of motion is a lot different. So as you sit there and you come around, it's going to open up and allows you to release it more down at the bottom of the swing. So if you're here, then you got from here to here is your range of motion. Okay. But if you only open up here, your range of motion is cut almost by a quarter. So if you're used to releasing the ball, with so much movement this way, then you're going to release it more here instead of here. Okay. By just opening up. Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You got to get your feet a little bit further right. Because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be able to really kind of see getting that ball in front of you, where a house shot, you really play left or right, and a sports shot, you play more front to back. So it's all about when you can get the ball to hook, but you're not going this way. Right. Even if you're swinging it, you're actually just trying to keep that ball in front of you this way, instead of really just trying to
carry it out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So.
Definitely a more direct approach.
Yeah, I would move about 4 right. Mr. Catchy.
4 to the right?
Yeah, with your feet.
I'll do it, but it's probably going to read early.
I don't care. Go ahead and move your eyes to right. The only reason I'm making you bowl there is because you have to get used to keeping that ball in front of you. So the thing is, as you move it
in front of me.
Yeah.
Describe
this right here. Here, as opposed to this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's just a matter of keeping the ball in front of you.
Alrighty.
And if you have to open up your angles, then you have to tell yourself, okay, I know I have to go this way, but it's more this way.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
And not that.
I got you. Okay. That makes
Yeah. See, that's kind of shots that's going to work a lot better tonight.
I agree. I agree 100%.
You might have to even go straighter, but that's the ball motion that you're probably going to get. Yeah.
That's how I would love to throw a regular house shot, in all honesty. I'm tired of being standing all the way inside and swinging it.
You can do it now. Now that we've got your game to where it is now, you can project a little bit more. See, this is what was missing right there. Look where you're releasing the ball. Right there. So it's the same motion, but it's here instead of here, and that keeps when you can release it next to your leg, you can actually go in that direction if you need to. But if you're releasing it here, think of it this way, it's like this. You're almost saying
it's hard to keep your you
can't go that
your
way.
arm to keep behind the ball
Right.
when it's in front of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow, you're not even joking. That's crazy. Literally. Now if I get to get a little more bend in my knee.
I don't think you need to. I actually think with your leg being straight, see how you release it in the air, but then it comes down, but it's not going up.
Yeah.
That gives you time to get rotation on the ball. I don't think you need to.
I thought it built up more rotations as it spun on the oil.
It is, but the thing of it is, as long as if you put it on the ground, it's not going to spin as much either. So too much air, on the ground too early, you just don't have time to turn it. Where you can turn it more in the air. So if it gives you more room to do this, and then the ball has this much room to. I found it.
Oh.
My Miami fidget spinner.
Oh Lord, who got you that?
Leslie, of course.
Oh, did she? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well.
You look like shit this year.
Oh God, don't get me started.
I can't even watch one of the games. Freaking who is our quarterback? It's not Grossman. It's
Cutler.
Cutler, yeah. God. Oh my Lord.
Cutler or Matt Moore. Matt Moore has no arm. World of difference that makes, right? Just one small thing. Just one small thing makes that much of a difference.
That's a lot of small things that we just fixed.
Well,
shoulders, release.
But it was just one thing.
Motion.
Really, it's a cascade effect where you fix one or two things here, then it starts to cascade into
ripple effect.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to when you're getting into your pivot step. You know what's your pivot step, right?
Yeah, that's the one where you push off.
When you get into your pivot step, you don't want to think about turning the ball. Everybody, all those guys, they talk about, make sure that you're hitting. I didn't hit the ball at the bottom. It was like, but if you're in a good position, when you hit the line, you don't have to think about turning the ball. The ball will turn itself.
Well, I don't think about hitting it. I think about
but most people do though.
If I stay behind it, then I'm going to hit it. It's when I start to come around it that I know.
The thing of it is, but even thinking about staying behind it, if you work on it here, you don't have to worry about staying behind it at the end. Because everybody gets around it eventually. Lock the door, don't let him back in. Yeah. Well, he'd probably work out the logistics first. He'd work out the logistics first, and then he's got to put in a PowerPoint presentation, and then then he'll break the window. But then he'll probably draw a line first, a circle and stuff.
We're some engineers.
Yeah. The logistical people, they tell the engineers what to do.
I hope you're not a physicist.
180 on 20.
Huh?
180 on 20.
What's that?
180 on the lane.
Call it in.
180 on 20.
180 on 20.
Oh, 180 down there.
You got to work on your lean in. When you're lean to push the reset button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're open. You're opening your shoulder. Wait, well, let's put it. Wait, let's put that in slow motion. Let's kind of. Look at see how your shoulders open up. You can't push the button enough You know, with your shoulder.
Look at that.
You can't put enough
Look at that
pressure on there. You know,
definition.
when you
Look at that definition.
really seriously,
Look at that.
you're gonna talk about definition,
Look at
right?
that.
That you're really gonna talk to me about
Ladies
definition?
love it.
They don't help with the bowling ball though.
Yeah.
They don't help with the bowling ball.
They're not that big.
No, it's the definition. It ain't
Oh,
on
the
side.
definition. Oh,
Definition.
oh, okay. Okay, so you're Popeye.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, he has
Okay.
big forearms. No biceps or forearms.
You just kind of turn it
That's
over.
so true.
I used to have a friend that used to work on
28
biceps
kid.
only.
Yeah.
He would work on biceps only, and his biceps were like this, but then his tricep was like,
And the main.
I look
main weight-
really,
the main
really
muscle in
weird.
your arm is your tricep.
Yeah. I
Is it
was like,
really?
yeah, yeah.
Back, the old saying used to be when I lived it back in the day when I was bigger than I am now, back when I got old. Curls for the girls.
Yep.
They want the bigger biceps, and you sit there and do this.
Mhm.
Well, this is 2. Let's try.
Yeah.
3. So what's bigger than 2? 3.
Yeah.
So 3 is bigger than 2. So the muscle tricep is bigger than the bicep.
Yeah, the arms aren't worth looking at if you can't turn it over, you know, and just
And have a horseshoe effect.
yeah.
It should you do like it. You should have a horseshoe where the tricep muscle is formed.
One that I don't have.
Yeah, my biceps didn't look that big when I was working out because I worked on the triceps. The triceps were bigger.
I did back and bis because they're both pulling effect.
Right.
And I did tries and chest because it's pushing
Right.
away.
Right.
I work out.
I used to
watching
love
the
leg
TV.
workouts.
And I'm too old.
Yeah.
I mean, my job.
I can't do it
I'm
anymore.
too old. I still work out. If I'll be about 500 pounds, as much as I eat.
No, I can't
Cannot
work
get
out.
It's so boring.
I used to love it. I mean, when I was younger,
I'm one of the
I was
only
all about
guys
it.
on this world, I think, that just has zero interest in lifting
I
weights.
run a lot, but I hate running too.
I used to love
I
bench
haven't run
press.
anywhere since I was 16 years old.
Yeah. Bench press and military press I used to love.
Military press is good all around.
Yeah, I love that. He used to have a really unorthodox, still kind of unorthodox, but he used to have we had to really get that under control. See, the thing of it is, though, everybody does something unique, so that doesn't bother me at all. I think the overall flow is what I look at.
Third
It-
step is clear at the bottom as well.
Yeah. I only really pay attention to what they're doing right and just kind of expand from that.
Right. And as long as they do the same
His
thing,
swing
I'm
is.
not doing anything right, so I'm screwed.
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
long as they do it the same way every time.
He used to pull that ball really behind his back, even further than he is now. Now it's a little bit more consistent. You can actually get it to roll through.
Right.
But he used to have this really bizarre. Used to. But now we've got it under control, a little bit smoother. Yeah. That's really about where you're gonna have to play tonight. The big thing is making sure you don't force it because that ball's not gonna read quick enough. Really, you want to get the ball to start hooking and start going towards the pocket, so that when it actually hits that skid part, it's actually gonna keep going. It's not gonna, like in the house shot, if it doesn't hook, get towards the pocket soon enough, a lot of times there's more back end will allow you to get in there. But
This ball definitely doesn't hook very much.
well, it's
It
hook.
doesn't have a lot of back in it.
Yeah.
It's
Hook
hard.
it hooks earlier.
Yes, it reads earlier.
Yeah.
But it's also drilled to go long for
Hmm.
what it is.
So most of the what they call a misconception that a lot of people have is they'll drill up something. Well, this ball's not supposed to hook. No, you can get a plastic ball to hook, The thing is, when is it going to hook? You know, how far it's going to get down the lane. You know, where an aggressive ball is going to hook earlier. It's going to start getting its traction earlier, which is going to, in essence, allow you to cover more ground, but it's going to look like it's hooking less. It's actually hooking.
It's just, yeah, it's covering more boards on a longer distance.
Yeah, yeah. Where they'll buy one of those aggressive balls, and it doesn't hook that long. Well, it's because they don't visually see that shot shape that they're used to having.
They're looking for an angular backhand ball versus something that's
Right,
more
right.
controlled, which is what I like to control. I really do. If it's not going to read early enough, I can just I can sand it down a little bit, put some surface on it, because I really don't have anything else like that.
You should ask Sean if he has 1,000.
I'm sure he does.
I would start off with 1,000, because you could always use if it's hooking too much, you could always go to one of your other lovely balls that I don't like.
I mean, I also have that Torque Fusion too.
Right.
And that one's a little snappy on the back end.
So you can see the difference between this one and then, so you see how that is, right?
Yeah, I was all British and put my hand behind my back.
I wasn't even going to say anything. Now look at this one.
Tally-ho.
Look. See how, where the other one is, you still have it here, but it's more like this, and you're not in your balance.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Looks like I'm trying to choke myself.
You can see where
I can definitely see where I'm tugging
very,
it.
very robotic.
Very, very muscling it at the bottom.
But it here, straight up, straight back.
Very smooth.
And you're getting in the direction. You don't look, because you look like you're going to go this way with it. Then all of a sudden, when you release the ball, then you go that way. But in this one, you start out looking this way.
And it goes that way.
Right. That's a good shot. That's even a good shot if you bolt today. See how, and see what it, remember I was talking about keeping it in front of you? So you're facing this way, okay? So you're in essence keeping that ball in front of you. Yeah, it's going a little bit left or right, but you're keeping the ball in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing this.
Gotcha.
You're actually with your body turned.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously I'm standing on what? I'm standing on the center dot, 20, 25. And putting the ball down at what, 15?
Yep. But that's what they
going out.
That's what they talk about, keeping it in front of you. A lot of people, they think, oh, keep in front of me. It doesn't make sense because they're thinking square to the line and keep it in front. There's no way the ball's going to go this way. Mm-hmm. You have to square to your target and keep that ball in front of you. See, it's never as bad as you think it is.
Oh no, it was pretty bad.
No, because it's all a cascade effect. You know, your shoulders weren't opening up, so one thing was causing all that problem. If it was terrible, it would take longer to fix.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you gotta look at it.
I'm telling you, I know it makes it easier to fix the fact that I can see what I'm doing versus you just sitting here having to spit words at me.
True.
It makes it a lot easier. I mean, obviously, you telling me what I'm doing wrong allows me to see it. Because I wouldn't see that even if you didn't tell me what it was. But I can put 2 and 2. I can add 1 plus 1. I can't get to 2 if I only have 1. I need both.
Just remember today, just try to.
God, please don't say that.
No, you just gotta stay within yourself. if you're gonna look at what other people do, make sure that their rev rate and their, you
Try to
know,
find somewhere
ball
comparable
pace.
to me.
Yeah. Don't try to, if somebody's bowling good, yeah, pay attention to where they're playing.
But it
But
doesn't really help if they're
yeah, if they're don't throw it like
different,
you,
if they're two-handing the ball.
you know, or if you got someone like Pharrell Williams that,
Don't pay attention to a lefty.
yeah,
And definitely don't pay attention to Sean,
I
wherever he is.
don't think it's that bad. Yeah, his. I sometimes question how he attacks lanes. I don't think it's Daryl. No, Daryl's out of town.
Yeah, I just know Alan's gonna be here tonight. That's all I know.
He would probably be the one that I would listen to the most.
Oh no, I agree.
No, I'm thinking about, yeah.
No, I talked to him last night about it, and
What did he say?
he said he told me to play. He told me to swing the ball. I think. I didn't. I mean, I just.
That actually makes sense. But swing the ball, keeping the ball in front of you. Okay? It's going to be very important that, see, when you start to do this, then it starts to loop more.
Mhm.
If you keep the ball in front of you, it's more of a straight line.
Mhm.
So that's what he's talking about. Where he doesn't have to think about it because his ball motion doesn't usually go left to right. Even when he's swinging, it doesn't go left. It doesn't loop. It doesn't banana left to right. I think he helped that one a little bit.
He said you probably need to play left.
Yeah. That's why your foot moved, because you helped that one. Helped that one.
Hey, what? I'm sorry.
See how you helped that one? At the very end, you helped it. That's why your foot moved. Overall, it's still a good shot, but you see the foot
Oh yeah.
move. But if you
That happens every once in a while, and I don't.
not that often, not as much as it used to.
But
Yeah.
it used to happen, so I still don't
You're right
feel
there.
it every single time.
That right, moves briefly, but the ball's way off your hand. I think sometimes you move it just as a, what do you call it? When, I don't know. It's like a security blanket kind of thing. But
Six,
usually,
seven.
yeah. Usually after that ball is about 3/4 of the way down, you'll see every so often you'll see a move where you'll pick that leg up. It's really kind of weird, but everybody
Say
has
that
that.
again? You lost me on that.
You'll actually, instead of that foot staying down there, you'll pick up your trail leg up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like,
I've done that.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of
No, I know I do that.
bizarre. You just can't stay away from this place, can you?
What? They put my offer.
Yeah, I guess you gotta do something, right? It wasn't that bad. That's the one you bellied that one out a little bit. Because you can see it kind of,
Gotcha.
so your shoulder's probably closed up. That's a good shot. So it looks like, I wouldn't even worry
That
about
felt
it.
good.
It looks like whenever you don't open your shoulder up, the ball will loop.
When I don't open it up.
Yeah, when you don't open it up enough.
Ah.
So that could be something. So whenever you start seeing your ball loop and you start seeing a lot of inconsistencies, I would just make sure that you get. I was confident that was going to be, you probably were going to be throwing the ball well after about 10, 15 minutes. You know, I think it's funny. Some of the old school, like, you know, the only thing he could see was that third step, you know, and I'm like, to me, I was like, third step's not a problem.
What are you talking about? I'm confused.
The third step,
What about it?
it's it kind of it's in the way.
My third step is in the
Well,
way.
this one went into, you take 5, right?
Yeah.
1, oh, 3. It was kind of, it's hard to explain. It's just not the norm.
Uh,
1,
I have
there's 1, and then
no. Oh, is that the beginning?
yeah.
Okay, I guess you did.
So that's 1, 2. It's kind of a, I don't know, a choppy step when normally it's
That's
supposed to
my
be.
third step right there.
No, there was a, remember there's a step missing.
Yeah. So that would be
That would be
this
with
one
your
right
left
here.
leg. Yeah, that one.
This one right here is my third step.
Yeah. I honestly,
You're saying it like it's too close to my.
I
Is that what he was saying or something?
yeah. Well, that's what he noticed. But you know, I'm like, your third step's fine. If anything, your pivot step is like in the way. That one. But you get it out of the way before. We've taught you to get out of the ball way before the ball starts coming down. Say, it's out of the way. Where some people have trouble. Like some people, what you used to do, so see how it's in the way?
In the way of the ball coming down?
Yeah. What you used to do is when the ball got almost to your leg, but now,
I would jump
yeah,
I'd thrust my hips out the way.
But now as it's coming down, it's already traveling, see? So it's out of the way right now. And so it allows you to really get out of the ball smooth because you don't lose momentum this way. You don't have to interrupt it where you used to. And that's why you can get out of the ball the way you do now. Like I said, no, I just think it's funny how that they point out things that
they don't do.
Well, that they think is wrong, but you know the thing of it is though.
Is it wrong if it's not hurting them?
Well, there's not really right or wrong. It's how everything flows, and if it flows well, do you really need to fix it? I don't think so, and that's the way I look at it. Yeah. I mean, if it's going to, then I'll change it, but it's not something I change right away either. I actually looked at that 2 years ago. You know, I thought, does that cause any problems? It's just kind of doesn't look. It sometimes doesn't look natural. It's kind of short and choppy. But the thing of it is, though, because your legs are so long, is it really a problem? You know?
Guess not.
No, I don't.
Seem to be hurting.
Wait, I've never really addressed it, have I?
I've never noticed it.
I've never even talked about it.
No.
But I thought about it at first, but that was a couple years ago, and I just found that it, to me, really wasn't a problem. That was good. You slid into that one pretty good. Ow. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. I really wouldn't overanalyze that shot. When that kind of thing happens, just go smoother. Don't think about that one too much. Overall, I thought the execution was fine. If anything, the swing pace was a little bit fast, but it's not one of those things where I'd be, oh no, it would just just go smoother.
I heard it. I heard
Yeah.
it bang.
When it's not picking up its roll, it's just a matter of just being more patient, really. Yeah, no, I would just you have to allow the ball to read a little bit quicker. So, what's going on, Tom?
Jerky at the bottom.
Just a little bit, but you know,
Very tad. I'm missing board.
yeah. You could almost go aboard right with your feet, though. It's okay. Yeah, it wasn't great. Just a little bit too deliberate. Usually when you do that, it's really in here. You know, you get a little bit choppy here, you're gonna get up here and you're gonna, yeah. But it wasn't that bad. Well, not really. See, the thing is, reality is you're not going to throw it the same way twice. Nobody does, not even the pros. They get themselves in a place where they don't look at it as, see, what you need to learn is to look at it. It's not about good ball, bad ball. It's okay. Next time I'm going to do this. And it sounds like it's a little bit different than, it's not that different than the way you think, but yours is like, you know, it's really about what was wrong, you know, but you have to almost,
It's not about what's wrong.
you have to
do it
clinically,
right.
yeah, you got to clinically say, okay, this next ball I'm going to do this. Not, oh, you know, that wasn't good, so I have to throw it better now. Because you're already putting yourself on the defensive.
Makes sense.
The thing of it is, you say it out loud, or you're going to hear it. Your subconscious hears it. That's something that my brother taught me. You know, where I was like, oh no, I did this, and this wrong. And then I'm looking for that perfect shot where, you know, really, if you look at it, the perfect shot's going to come. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to get there. And you can get in your own way. When everything's going right, you can throw it great.
I definitely do. I'm not too proud to admit it. I definitely get my own way.
Well, hell.
I definitely did Wednesday night. I got in my way so bad. I mean, I didn't get mad or anything. I was just so frustrated that I couldn't couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong.
See, the thing of it is, you don't have to get mad to get in your way.
Yeah,
that's what people think.
I was
Yeah.
frustrated about it.
You have to be clinical about your adjustments. See, the thing of it is, strive for perfection during practice. Because, you know, that practice is going to make it into your real league play. But once the lights are on, it doesn't really matter. You know, your practice is going to really start to take effect. But in the meantime, who cares if it wasn't, you know, perfect?
I mean, I definitely care when I get shitty strikes.
You shouldn't. They're strikes.
That's what Dave said too.
Well, the thing is, look at it this way. How many times have you
thrown a perfect blade,
and you don't carry? So, you know, it's actually it balances the scales.
Exactly what Dave said to me last night. The exact same words. Exactly the same. And I was
Okay.
Like, wow, I never.
So I go one night. I go, and I'm talking about it was a good night. So I'm pegging the hole. So I go, I go front 9 and all of them are the same. Straight back, straight back. Doesn't happen often, but I actually was straight back, straight back, straight back. I get into the 10th, first ball on the 10th, I go Brooklyn. Haven't even gone high for the first 9 shots. And I go Brooklyn. Yeah, I was nervous, but it still went Brooklyn. Then I flushed the second one.
So it went Brooklyn but struck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I go into the 12th shot. I go Brooklyn again. So I shoot 300 with 2 Brooklyns. But the first 9, I go stuff. Am I going to be mad at that 300?
No,
But it's the same mentality.
yeah,
It is.
You have a point. You do. You definitely do.
I was just happy when I had my first sober 300.
Sober 3. You had a drunk one before you had a sober one?
I had my first 3. I was totally trashed.
Oh my lord.
My first one, I couldn't hardly walk. I didn't even know I had the front 9.
Jeez.
And then all of a sudden I get into the 10th and I throw the first one, and the place goes. And this is when there wasn't a lot of 300s. Place starts going crazy. Yeah, everybody had stopped.
10th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I'm drunk and I bowled the shift before, so I was drinking then, and I was drinking. So then I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there just like hamming it up. I throw the second one, place goes nuts, and I'm like,
Yeah, just taking it in.
you're
not
taking
even
in,
knowing what they're doing.
and I look up and and Kate, my sister-in-law was just sitting back there, and then I look up and I go, why the front 11 came up? So then I flashed. I ended up shooting 788 that day, and it was my first 3. I couldn't even feel my face. I was the first time I was actually doing this. I was just sitting there like.
That's tragic.
I'm glad YouTube wasn't around then. I think overall it's still good. You had a little bit more air underneath that one, but see how just up just a touch. But that's what I'm saying. You can't be mad at that because it's just the way it is. It's got a little bit more air than you normally do, which makes a huge difference. Yeah. So, See, the thing of it is, like, even the pros, on when you get to the finals, you're getting the people who are bowling good that week.
Yeah.
So, but if you watch it during the week, even the people who made it to the show don't look that good. Like, I watch Extra Frame like crazy, but some of the guys who actually made the show are striking like crazy. Not striking.
In qualifying.
Right. I know there was a couple tournaments I remember where one guy he made the top 24. He was a 24th spot, and he ended up getting the top spot because he just caught fire in match play, didn't lose a match, and was shooting good, so he jumped all the way to first. But he wasn't throwing it like that all the time. So it's a matter of, even though you have mixed results here, doesn't mean that you didn't throw the ball good here. It just, little things here and there. That's what bowling is. It's a game of inches. So you could actually throw it well and still not even come close to striking.
Well, you can throw the perfect ball and not get a strike in bowling.
Yeah.
It's one of the few games that you can do that.
Yeah. But you may even miss the pocket
and get a strike.
No, just completely miss the pocket and not get a strike, and you still could have thrown the ball well. You just probably weren't standing in the right place.
True. When I say I didn't throw it well, I encompassed everything.
Yeah.
I didn't place it where it needed to be.
What you really need to do is start thinking, okay, what do I need to do next time? Not even what to do to fix it. Just what am I going to do next time?
Play to the future.
Yeah. That'll help you become a better bowler faster. Now, one thing on this one here, this last ball, your swing pace was good. Nice and smooth, you slid in. The swing pace is really good. And the reason why that's good is because it's slow enough where the ball doesn't get off your hand too fast. So you have time to get it off your thumb, and the ball and your hand will rotate around it. It doesn't. If you're in a good position, you don't have to rotate around it fast. It's just a matter of just.
No, trust me, I can't. I'm not trying to rotate around that ball. Period.
You're not. I mean, that was.
I don't.
That's why that reacted very well.
The more I try to rotate it, the more I find that my wrist starts getting tweaked.
Plus, it's actually the slower you're actually going to rotate it.
So I try not to jerk on the. I mean, I try to keep that little bit of bend.
You try to jerk it.
Yeah, I try not to jerk it on the
You try to.
Damn right.
Anything we're doing is worth doing right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at that one.
That swing.
Yeah.
That swing pace is actually going to allow you to make mistakes right there. So even though you weren't perfect there.
Allow me to make mistakes? Who
Yeah.
wants to make mistakes?
It's
going to recover from mistakes.
It wasn't great, but because you're throwing it the way you are, you're able to strike. That wasn't perfect. Your balance was a little off because you're helping it just a little bit.
Look how far that came behind my back. That was like right in the middle of my back versus like where my shoulder is.
Yeah, look where your push away went.
Yeah.
But that is the exception.
Look where I'm holding the ball. Oh, not in front of
That's
me.
not where you not where you usually do it. So I mean,
don't know what I did there.
like I said, but you still struck.
Yeah, it's still struck. Definitely still struck.
Those type of balls will make you keep your streak. Yeah, that was pretty awful.
I dropped my shoulder on that one so bad.
No, you want to drop your shoulder. You just didn't drop
No,
it
I
at
mean,
the
I
right
did
time.
this number.
Yeah.
I felt that thing sink. I look how bad I'm leaning. You know it's bad when my head's like this.
Yeah.
That was just
You know it's because you helped it. It's not really that you dropped your
I
shoulder.
looked like Austin Fossmeyer when I did that. Just.
I tell you, Austin, when he was bowling a lot,
Austin was great. I know, yeah, absolutely, he was good.
He needs to bowl more though.
I agree. The baby coming, I'm sure he can.
Yeah.
I mean, I bowl him on Thursdays.
Yeah, I wish he could practice enough to get back where he was. I actually think you're good. So the big thing to remember is what? What's the big thing? Okay.
Open up.
Keep the ball in
Speed
front of you.
slow, ball in front of you, not to the side.
And that's it.
Don't hop.
Nah.
Strike a lot.
You don't have to think about hopping because if the ball's in the right position, you're not going to hop. And if your swing pace is smooth, you're not going to pull the ball through. So, you know, it's all cascade effect. It's just.
I want to know where this little behind the back chicken wing thing's coming from. I started doing it at night.
What chicken wing? What chicken wing thing?
This. After I throw the ball, I put my hand behind my back. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there.
It's just something to do. Yeah, you just missed a little bit right. That's what I'm saying. You threw that ball well. It just didn't get. It just didn't go where you wanted it.
Which is weird. My accuracy, I thought, was a lot better than what it's been lately.
Yeah, but one ball. One ball, you know. And how many? All right. I wouldn't bowl too much more.
Better than that. Oh, I did a little shimmy.
Yeah. You help that one. Right there at the bottom. See?
Yeah, I sure did.
I actually kind of like that one too. Just got a little bit of air underneath that one. Just a touch, but still good. So go a little bit smoother. That allows your slide to really get in there. Oh yeah. Make sure you keep that push away. Like, don't hold it here. You want it to be
In front of my stomach.
yeah. I would go 2-1 right. You know, lanes are changing constantly. Okay.
You normally don't move right though.
Sure you do. You don't move right, but you can. So what you're actually doing is you're getting more here because the ball's not overreacting. So if you get here, you go more into the track area, and it tightens your shot up. You couldn't do that before. Now you can. So go 2-1 right.
Do you have one from like 6 or 7 shots ago? I mean, I know you have it. I just don't know where the hell it is.
You should just stop.
I like that.
See, the thing of it is though.
Look at my body position and tilt. I mean, it's not bent over like it is in the one that I just threw. The one I just threw, I look like I'm gonna tip over on the side at the very end.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. See, the thing of it is, each time you throw a ball, the lanes are changing.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that. I mean,
See, the thing of it is, the things that you see are very minor,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not going to change the roll that much.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that they may be tightening up a little bit. You're the only person on the lane.
Mm-hmm.
So when you normally have 5 people bowling on each lane,
We're gonna do a little bit more quicker.
it's going to, and it's actually in transition this way. Yeah, I didn't like the way you threw that one.
I did too. I just tucked it.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, stay fluid.
Alright, no thank you. Just throwing.
Yes.
I like that.
I mean, you didn't have to move, but what I wanted to show you, because the way you're projecting the ball,
Mm-hmm.
that shot is now open to you where
I like that shot.
you normally couldn't do it. Like 2 years ago, you could not
There
go
was no way
right.
in hell.
But
Heck
now since you're sliding into it, you can actually get right when most people are going left.
Yeah.
See, as a lot of people move left, that's going to cause a lot of problems. If there's nobody really playing out there, and you can tighten up and keep the ball on line,
Yeah, because I mean,
you're going to strike longer.
As they're swinging it, they're
Yeah.
still pushing oil out
Right.
outside.
Right.
I mean, not a lot, but if only one person is out there,
Well, just kind of think of it as building blocks. Is if you're going this way and all of a sudden they're going this way, they're putting building blocks to allow your shot to extend. And since you're playing a little bit straighter, your ball's going to be able to break through that barrier and actually go towards the pocket.
Makes sense.
Okay. How are you, Mr. Johnny? See how you pulled it in and it's still held line. It's because you now can project the ball and you couldn't before. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You didn't get it where you wanted, but you still hooked.